Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to PCCS's EmPower Hour. My name is Kevin Roman.
And I'm Alyssa DeGusto.
All right, and we will be having our good friends, Melissa Chapman and Lori Ketchacola on the show today. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are you? Well, good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
This is like brunch time, so we're brunching.
That's right.
That's fair.
Slide the good morning in. It still works.
I feel like I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. For everybody who doesn't know, Laura used to work in the same room as us, Alyssa and I. So we miss her very dearly here in room 6.
Intern days.
Good times. Aww. So for people who don't know your guys' role, I know, Melissa, you've been on before, so our usual fans know who you are. But for anybody who doesn't know, give us a quick intro and what you do in the agency. I guess, Lori, why don't you go first?
Thank you. I'm Lori Ketchacola. I am the support broker in the agency brokerage department.
Nice.
Okay, I guess I'll go. So Melissa Chapman, program manager of self-directed supports. I oversee the agency brokerage department, as well as oversee the fiscal intermediary side of things as well. So part of the whole self-direction package.
Self-direction. Okay, I'm glad that you said self-direction, fiscal intermediary, what else? Agency brokerage all in one sentence.
Yeah.
So we can get all of that out in the open real quick. Melissa, what do all these things mean?
Yeah, of course. So self-direction is a service that individuals who are waiver enrolled with OPWDD can receive. And it gives them the opportunity to choose a mix and support of their services, which is awesome because they could get, traditional day hab, pre-voc services, but they could also do things like community classes and learn how to play music and maybe karate or yoga. So that's self-direction, and they manage their services and in charge of it. So they have a lot more control, which is nice. And then you have, the way I like to explain it to families, is fiscal intermediary services is your corporate compliance officer. This is Medicaid and state dollars that we are utilizing. So they are the ones to make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, and following the regulations. And then the brokerage side of things is kind of your accountant, your right-hand man or woman in this case, to basically ensure that, your budget's on point. They're providing you with some regs and helping you find staff and helping you find those classes and things of that nature. So you're assisted in managing and operating your self-directed services. So those are all three keywords that we'll be using today.
Okay. And now, do you need all of those together? Can you pick and choose like different ones? How does that exactly work?
Yes. I'll let Lori take this.
Well, you need a support broker to get started, and you do need a fiscal intermediary to help process all of your invoices and your staff wages. So you need all of that. They all work together. So that we work together behind the scenes so the person could have the best life that they can,
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
No, it's perfect. Absolutely.
So Lori, you being a support broker, what is like a day? What is like your daily? What does your day look like? For those who don't, we're still learning. So for all that are watching, we're literally learning as we're speaking with Lori and Melissa.
For over 10 years, and if somebody asks me about self-direction, I'm like,
It's very simple. Some days my day is planned out and it runs very smooth. But then things pop up and you got to take care of them. I could be in a circle of support meeting 1 hour. The next hour, I'm creating someone's budget for the first time, or then I'm changing someone's budget. Next thing, I'm searching for staff. or then I'm processing mileage reports or invoice reports. So never know what a day could be like. Some are better than others, but it's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, so to speak. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Melissa. Go on.
I was going to say, basically what I tell families and what Lori tells families is, if you need help, you reach out to us. We help in any which way we can. So like Lori mentioned, helping you, upload your reimbursements to the FI, or helping you find that staff, or if you're looking for a particular class, we could do some research on that. So really kind of being your right-hand woman again, just really, but you have to reach out to us. We're not going to know that you need help unless you do that.
True, right.
and
so you guys aren't mind readers either.
No,
on
we're
top of
definitely
everything that you do. Okay.
No,
Unbelievable.
And what's interesting, I feel, about this department is our participants. We have individuals themselves that are their spokesperson, and we have children. So we got the families that we're dealing with. So every case is different. We are open in Staten Island and taking cases from Brooklyn and Manhattan too.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
We added that.
You've expanded.
So we were able to add that to ourselves. So
which is a little anxiety, but we're getting there.
out of curiosity, speaking of that, then if I am a family member outside of those 3 boroughs, can I still contact you? Can you guys work on that, or is it still in the process? Or we're not quite there yet?
We're not quite there yet. We're starting slow. We started with Brooklyn and Manhattan to expand. We are doing some outreach with those boroughs, with certain, the DDRO, and we have a call with the JCC coming up at the end of the month. Slow and steady. I like to say.
I mean,
win the
Brooklyn and
rest,
Manhattan, pretty major already. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if they're from another borough, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to take their case, but they would be more than happy to call us, and we would answer questions and help them in any capacity.
And who knows what the future holds?
Right. Exactly.
That's going to be all 5 boroughs. That'll be exciting.
We'll see.
Someday.
Yeah, someday.
Absolutely. So for those who are, again, still learning, there are 2 different types of support brokers, correct? So there's an agency support broker, and then there's an independent support broker. Can you guys explain a little bit what the difference between the 2 is?
Yeah. Lori, you want me to take this?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the great thing about an agency broker versus independent, so both do the same job, both, provide that support, both are accountable, right, in the sense. But the nice thing about signing on with an agency broker is the broker works for an agency, which basically there's a chain of command, right? So if the support broker doesn't respond to you within the 24-hour policy that we have at PCCS, you could go up the chain, go to their supervisor, and go all the way up until it gets to your point across. Whereas an independent broker, they're working for themselves, so they could work all different types of hours, if you don't get a response from them, or if they're not assisting you with any way, you reach out to the state. The state would be your next contact. Sometimes you're very, good with that. Sometimes it's not, depending upon that aspect. This is with agency brokerage. This is our job. This is what we're hired here at PCCS to do. So we're doing it 40 hours a week. Whereas an independent broker, they might have another job or other responsibilities. So they might have to kind of fit you into the schedule a little bit more. And again, that accountability, I think, is big on an agency brokerage side. So
it seems like you're getting that extra layer of almost like customer service in a way, in a sense, that you kind of, attending to everyone's specific needs. So that really does make a world of difference.
Yeah. And the other
No,
go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead.
The other thing that I wanted to point out was with, an agency broker, if and I'm not saying this is happening anytime soon, but if Lori or I were to leave, technically PCCS is responsible to provide another broker for you, should you want to stay with PCCS. Whereas an independent broker, if that person decides that they don't want to do this anymore, it's really then your responsibility to find a support broker to kind of take that place. So that's also the nice thing about, signing on with an agency broker versus an independent. But again, both do the same job in that aspect.
And also, our families get 2 for the price of 1. They get me, and Melissa's my backup, so they're getting 2 brokers for the price of 1.
Yeah.
So
I will say, not just because I work for PCCS, because I'm being unbiased as possible, but I will say our FI department at least runs like a well-oiled machine. I've never seen all of you guys at FI in some direction like a well-oiled machine. Like y'all been doing it for forever. I'm like, okay, all right, I see you. But anyways, little plug.
It took a while to get there, but we are there. And yes, we're an oiled machine, or as Alexa would like to say, we're robotic, but I think we're getting better with not being so robotic and being a little bit more person-centered in that aspect. So
I will say you guys also have amazing team meetings. Our team has totally crashed your team meetings before, and they're always a good time.
True.
So that's always fun too.
Very true.
No, that's awesome. So I know previously, even in just day-to-day conversation that we've had, you have a lot of people that receive our services that give so much great feedback about the staff that they work with. Can you explain to us maybe what the importance of having a good staff has on the person that's receiving those supports?
Lori, you wanna?
Oh, you're talking about our participants having good staff. Yes.
Yeah, and like what that impact that it really does have on their lives. Yeah.
Well, I have a woman that I'm thinking of that I connected her with a friend of mine, and she's very funny. She loves her worker, and she says I call her my sister, and then she's taking to call me. I don't even know if you know this, Melissa. She's taking to calling me grandma because I made the connection with them, and
it's a family thing.
Yes, and it's very dear to my heart. All right, and it's very important because the person is getting the services that they need. They're getting to get their paperwork in, their invoices done. Just challenges like even getting to the grocery store and getting purchases done. To have that person supporting you to get these things done, that's one person who lives on their own. And then there's families that have children. And when you hear that you made a connection and somebody's very happy with their ComHab worker or even a respite worker, it makes things happy on our end because, okay, we made a connection and the program's working, Mm-hmm. I don't know if I answered the question. Oh my goodness.
No, 100%. You're doing great. So what have you guys seen, historically as that is a great quality in a staff that you've seen have it really impacted the people that we serve?
What makes a good staff? Yeah.
I think first, number one, you need to care. Okay, you want to be there. I had a mom tell me, don't send me someone that's not too young or whatever because they just want to sit on their phone. No, if you want to sit on your phone, this isn't for you. These people need you to be involved. I actually got my son a position, okay, with something, and I told him, don't take the job if you're not going to do the work, and it's being a companion. It's teaching daily living skills. Each person gets a staff action plan and it's written detailed to them, goals they want to work on and ways to improve their life. And that was the best advice I could give him. I said, follow the staff action plan, and I'll tell mom, if you want something to change, then when we have our meeting, bring it up and we'll put it into the life plan and the staff action plan. And that's how one feeds the other, and the staff action plan is what gives the staff the guidelines, what they can do and what they should be doing with the person.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Lori in the sense of they need to care. They have to have passion, empathy, patience, because, you know, as we all work in the field, it's not going to be the same day to day. And we might have an individual who, you know, is experiencing, you know, a little bit of a delay on working on those goals. So we need to put a little bit more energy into it. So again, if you don't have those qualities, then this is not the field for you. And that does what makes a good staff. You know, I've seen staff where they stay for years and love what they do and make a full-time career out of this. But then I see staff that come and go and are just looking for the dollar and cents at the end of the day because,
Right.
you know, of what self-direction can pay.
Right.
Yeah.
I think PCCS as a whole, I feel like I've said this before, so I'm having a deja vu moment, but anybody that really works here or any agency, you are really you're not going to work every single day for the dollars and the cents. You are really going there because of the mission and what the agency and organization represents, and really just the outcomes that you're getting from all of that energy that you're putting into the day-to-day. So it's great to hear that you guys are seeing that you are seeing those positive results too, and just getting that positive feedback from families and staff and even the people that are receiving supports. So Lori, you were telling us that you guys are hiring, you are looking for staff, you are looking for people that have this mission in mind and they want to make a difference in the community. So can you tell us what it is that you're looking for?
I am always looking for staff. I have posted ads all around Facebook and on Indeed and LinkedIn. I am always looking for staff. The families need staff. I try to keep a running list of who's looking for staff. Try and place people, match people up. There's people that need a little more support, and sometimes I'll get a resume from a para and they're looking for extra work. Well, that's a great person for somebody, a younger child who wants to work on reading skills or math skills, because they have that to bring to the table. College students. I've reached out to the social work department at CSI. College students going into social work, psychology. This is the first steps for you. All right, you can do this type of work because you'll be there to support people. And just making those connections. So, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So now if someone is interested in applying, how should they do that?
First steps, they probably should send me their resume. I try to keep resumes on hand. I call it my big bowl of resumes. I go there first, see if your contact information should be on the resume, your email and your phone number. Because if I think you're going to match up with a family, I'll send your resume to them and you'll get contacted by the family. The family is the one who interviews and hires you and fires you. You work for the family. I've done Zoom interviews for the families. So, I would sit on and help ask the questions, but to make that connection, especially in the pandemic that we're in, that people don't want 10 people coming to their house. So we do it that way, but we try and make connections.
So what does that connection process kind of look like? Like if I'm sending you my resume, should I be giving you what my availability looks like, what I'm like looking to be kind of getting out of my role here?
Yeah, you can. If I get a resume, I'll reach out. I have somebody that needs somebody 3 days a week or 2 days a week. Does this work for you? If they say yes, I will forward the resume to the family. And then they usually call the person, have a conversation, and then I get back from the parent or the individual that they'd like to have a Zoom interview. And I'll say, sure, we'll set that up. And it's great when you see a connection, when you see people say, oh, yes, this is great. Yes, I want to hire you. And Okay, and it takes off from there. Then the individual would have to fill out a form that they send in over to the FI, and then there's an application that they fill out, and then they got a process after that. They have to be background checked, fingerprinted, and a little orientation. Takes a little while, and then it's all good to go after that.
Very nice.
It sounds like a modern matchmaking.
Kind of, yes.
One day we'll have self-direction like Tinder. We'll just swipe right and left.
I wish it was that easy. If I knew how to create an app and stuff. Oh yes, I would do
right
that.
now. We're copywriting that right now.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Here.
You heard it here first, everyone. Stay tuned in the App Store.
That would be great.
Oh, I love that. Well, that really does sound fantastic. Like you said earlier, it sounds like you really are a well-oiled machine. You just seem to like get it. So, Melissa, we were speaking earlier too. You guys are still open to enrollments, correct? Like you guys are still.
Yes.
And how would someone that's interested go about that?
Yeah, sure. So if someone was interested in receiving support brokerage from PCCS, they would contact myself and my email and basically fill out a form. And that form just, has their demographic information with their care manager information. And we would set up an intake assessment. During that time, it's just, again, a Zoom call due to circumstances right now. Is to put a face to a name because I feel like that's, obviously personable. And then once, we decide to work with each other and we want to move forward, there is paperwork that we would have to do on the back end. We would choose a fiscal intermediary agency that you would like to work with. And then, get the process started for startup services and create that budget and, move forward with your self-direction plan.
So just to be clear, if I am a parent and I literally don't know nothing about self-direction, I can go to you and then you would be able to kind of
navigate you through the system. Yep. Cool. Exactly. Definitely first step that, if you are new to self-direction world, I guess you could say, you definitely want to contact your DDRO because you do have to do a self-direction info session, which again is being done virtually via WebEx. And that usually happens every third Thursday of the month, which basically the DDRO, your local DDRO tells you a little bit about self-direction, and you need that certificate in order to actually move forward with the process too. So that's usually one of my questions during the intake. So if it's helpful, if you've done that prior to really meeting with me.
Get a step ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. So for those who are watching, we did put all of the contact info for both Lori and Melissa in the comments as well. So if you are interested in reaching out and finding out how to get hired and how to get enrolled, please by all means reach out. I want to thank.
Below, so I'm getting.
Yes, the link is below. Like and subscribe below.
Like, comment, subscribe.
I want to thank both of you so much for joining us today and kind of really breaking down the process with us and being patient with us too along the way.
And continually breaking it down because even hearing it once or twice, still kind of sometimes it doesn't really like fully click. Sometimes you have to hear it a couple times.
Well,
Kevin, I'm still learning. I'm still learning too.
Same girl.
Well, I was going to say, Kevin, if you want another position within the agency, just come on over. I'll give you cases, and you could be a support.
I love that. 100%. That's me next year. Why not?
You cannot take my co-host from me quite yet. So.
That's until I develop the app, and I'm a millionaire, and then it's see y'all in the Bahamas.
All right.
Again, you heard it here first on PCCS's EmPower. This is a lot of fun. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys again. And for those who are watching, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to see you next week with the Staten Island Developmental Disabilities Council and discussing care management. So please don't forget to tune in Thursday at noon with our friends at the SIDDC. And until then, have a fantastic rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.